Hey YouTube, my hair's stupid, I know. You ain't got a comment on it. We're here back at United Speed Racing for round 2 of the installs. We're back from California. We did Neverlift. So now we are back at it. We're doing the Sparco Racing seats, Sparco harnesses. I think we're gonna do one of USR's harness bars, which is pretty cool. I know we're gonna do the white line rear sway bar, and then we might hold off on the front sway bar. Reason for not doing the front sway bar right now, one, install time. You gotta drop the front subframe. We were hoping maybe you could just loosen it like on my Fiesta you can do, but apparently the people who know said no, you gotta totally drop it, so it's time consuming. Jason, you know, runs a Type R successfully in Time Attack, and he's still on the stock sway bar. So we figure we'll do the rear. Right now, it's from white line, and hopefully what that'll do is let the car rotate a little bit. And then we can come back and do the front and actually have a basis for comparison rather than doing too much out of the gate. Oh, the other thing we gotta do is figure out, you know, when we were driving to California and back the tires, when you hit kind of those bridges and dips in the interstate, the tires will rub a little bit. It's not significant, it wasn't hurting anything, but anyway, we gotta cut out whatever we gotta cut out, or roll fenders, or figure out what we gotta do for that.
Pretty good. Freak me out for just a second.
We're taking out the really awesome Type R seats, which I'm gonna steal and put in something else I don't know what yet. And then we're putting in these Sparco QR-TR fiberglass back seats. Hold on, do that slowly.
We have the Sparco's QR-TR, which is their new line of seats. They developed a process to mold the seats to keep them strong and light at an affordable price. Whereas before, to get this weight range, you had to get a carbon seat, which costs 2-3 times as much as a normal fiberglass seat would. But this new technology helps bring that cost down. And using it, we're going to use Sparco side mounts.
The PCIs, this might be backwards, but the idea is, you know, it doesn't come up high enough. Normally your first mounting point would be here, your second would be about here. They moved it up. Maybe it's for strength, you know, in case there was an incident and it was twisting, you're not grabbing from 2 bottom points, you're kind of triangulating it a little bit. Just need to watch out for that. Make sure you have your Sparco specific brackets which come up higher. I think we're gonna try and weigh factory with the airbags and all that stuff versus this seat to see how much weight savings is actually there. 44!
Lube it up.
So normally I'm all about putting racing seats in everything you got, right down to like your wife's minivan. In this particular case, and it keeps coming up, the Type R is so good as is off the showroom floor that man, those seats, man, the factory seats driving across the country, they're great. Like once you're in them, you're in them. You don't feel like you need to move around or anything like that. So these Sparcos are gonna have to be really good to outperform the original seats. But we'll see. It's definitely kind of a cool look, isn't it? Because it's kind of just a simplistic, narrow seat. The Type R seats are a little bit bulky with the airbags and everything that they gotta have in there. This is very clean. Obviously it's pushed all the way forward right now, but it's a very minimalist look, which I'm digging. Hey, up. Got a buckle here.
I'll put it there perfectly.
Thank you. He moved my damn steering wheel. Can't stand that. It's one thing if they move the seat, but he went and freaking moved the steering wheel. Do you know how many like man hours I have into getting that thing at the perfect? Oh, great. And the steering wheel. What? You're like, if you were a valet, you'd be a bad one because you'd move everybody's seat around. Initial thoughts, unscripted, just thinking out loud. I like the height, right? I was afraid we were gonna have to pull it back out and adjust that, but that feels good. The position feels good. It's in front of the steering wheel, which if you guys have ever put like seats in cars, you know how sometimes it goes cattywampus and it's just a little bit, but it's enough to freak you out and drive you crazy. So like that's good. Seat feels pretty damn comfortable actually. I think these are gonna be good. Here, I'm gonna close the door. I dig it. You done good. It's about perfectly positioned in here. I might have to get used to the harness situation. Cause see, we're still street driving the hell out of this, you know? So harnesses aren't necessarily ideal on the street. They, but you know, with these kind of high-sided seats like this, you don't want to use the, well, you can't, look at this. Holy crap. You don't want to use the regular 3-point harness because it's not really going to make a good connection across your lap, and if anything bad ever happened, you can slide, you know, under. Is that actually Robin? Can you see that? That's Robin, huh?
Yeah, but Robin's racing.
Robin is racing. Screw it, right?
That's pretty much normal.
Okay.
So for the harness install in this car, we're going to use our United Speed Racing harness bar, which is a 4-point floor mounted bar that mounts to the outer seat mounting points for the front seat, and then uses these 2 brackets that mount to the factory seat belt point under the rear seat. Once you get these plates in place, you can put the rear seat back in and you never have to remove these again, and you can still install and remove the harness bar in about 10 minutes. So pretty simple, and creates a really safe, solid mounting point for your harness belts.
Okay. Got it. I feel like Dad's tying my tie for like the first time.
Move your hair.
That's part of the deal. Yeah, I don't want to touch that.
The strap, the harness all the way? All the way? Is that as far as it goes?
I mean, how tight you want me to get it?
Go all the way.
Okay.
All right, loosen it back. Pull this up. You pull that lip up. All right.
It's gonna be like, oh, let me unplug my cell phone.
I'm just got them sitting in there.
I'm just leaving the gas station right now. Just gotta go across the street to the post office. Man, get suited up. Alrighty.
Nope, don't tighten it.
Hey YouTube, my hair's stupid, I know. You ain't gotta comment on it. Hiccup, if you're putting race seats in your Type R, is one, the seat belt.
If you're putting a full bucket seat.
Right.
There are some reclining race seats that you can do.
True. In this case, the seat belt, you know, buckle, this thing right here, is mounted to the seats instead of like, you know, the car like it is on some other cars. Also, because of modern vehicles, it has to be plugged in. You know, your seat belt has to be clicked in, or else it's just going to ding at you and throw all sorts of lights all the time. Which, by the way, we're also going to get airbag lights now. But so basically, we got to take this seat belt buckle out to plug it in to the factory seat belt, so that it'll at least think that the seat belt is buckled. Okay. Dude, do that on the other side. You did pretty good. Sea lion.
Do you like it?
No. That fall.
Hey.
It's like that Yeti in my spaghetti game. There we go. Thing's adorable. Just to recap from the introduction, rear OEM sway bar, taking that out and putting a beefier white line sway bar in, with the goal that it'll make the car rotate a little bit better. When you got guys like Jason here that are very talented drivers, you know, they'll throw a car into the corner, it'll be a little bit softer in the front and stiffer in the rear. It'll allow it to kind of rotate, which then they can kind of keep the power going, hammer down, and get out of the corner, right? And it won't understeer. You know, understeer is where it's basically, you know, you've got the wheel turned, but it's kind of going straight. I, however, you know, I like to think I am, and not a Jason, not necessarily a talented driver, but I mean, we'll see, right? Why am I doing this, Jason? Why would somebody like me want the car to be tail happy?
Because the factory stability control system is good. It'll allow the car to rotate a little more naturally, and the factory stability can
Save
come
me.
in and save you.
We didn't get to everything we wanted to, but that's pretty much like par for the course, right? We got the Sparco seats in it. We got the USR harness bar in it. We did the white line rear sway bar, changed fluids after the California trip, rotated tires, and that's it.